Hello. Wow, did like notification not go out or something? Hey Tom, how you doing? Hey Tammy, how are you? Hey Colonel. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people aren't getting it right away. Hey CEO. I might have to step off for just a second. I'm waiting to see the guy that does yard work around here, see if he'll help me out. Hey Patty. Yeah, it's been crazy trying to make videos and deal with everything going on with mom, and that's why I've been live streaming. I barely even been getting on YouTube at all for the last couple of days. I've been, on the phone with mom a lot and Skyping with her and talking with her doctors and all that. And, just trying to support her any way I can. Trying to get this whole ramp situation worked out here somehow. Hey, Perth. So, but I've just been getting a lot of weird emails from people, and, it's just the things some people say, it just boggles the mind. So, I mean, it's, one thing that's come to my attention, I've been doing middle of the night, I can't sleep. You know how it is. You can't sleep, or you're in and out of sleep or whatever, so you look for something to do. You start flipping through YouTube videos or whatever. Next thing you know, you're watching a million episodes of something. And one of the things, I kept watching these compilations, and it was a lot of the SJW cringe compilations and things like that. And it's come to my attention, and I've told several people that I've found, they're using a whole heck of a lot of our videos. Now, I found one guy, he took one of my compilations, he literally took the whole compilation and slapped his intro and outro on it. That's all he did. He didn't comment on it, he didn't do anything to change it, nothing. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I talked to Amanda about it, because I found some of her clips in these videos. And she said they did that to her too. They took one of her owned compilations and just tried to take credit for it. So now I'm going to start using the YouTube offers a built-in watermark that you can put on all your videos. And it's kind of a way to make sure that YouTube knows it's your video. And Amanda had asked me about it, and so I looked into it, and sure enough, it's a good idea. So I'm going to start using the YouTube watermark. But it just killed me because I saw a lot of our videos. A lot of California Guardians, a lot of High Deserts, a lot of Amandas, a lot First Amendment Strike Team. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, it's like these guys sit in our channels waiting for us to release these videos, and then they post it. Oh my god. Every time I go live, this idiot starts calling. These they keep labeling us as sovereigns and SJWs, and I'm like, no, that's not who we are. You know, there's this one, you know that Laporte guy, I don't remember his whole name, it's a real long channel name. But the guy, Laporte something or other, he's having a lot of issues with the cops and with getting subpoenas filled and, you know, winning rulings, but not actually getting what they want or what it was ruled to him, you know. Well, I found his videos, like they took all of his videos and they call it was like Diary of a Mad Sovereign or something like that. Hey Genty, Desert, Lindsay. But you know, he was taking all of his videos and just basically relabeling them and putting his intro and outro on it and putting it on his channel. And that's it. And I got on Laporte's channel on one of his videos and I left a comment with a link and I'm like, dude, you gotta, you know, go take care of this. You know, these people are stealing your work. Hit them with a copyright strike. You know, it's not only are they taking his work, but they're misrepresenting him. They're calling him a mad sovereign, and that's not the case. The guy's just dealing with a lot of crap. So, can I help you, Kat? Sandy, can I help you? You just trying to see the people? Hey, Virtual Frog. Yeah, I mean, it's one thing if they take our videos and they change the context or whatever, or overlay it with their own, you know, commentation, whatever. You know, do something to change the video. It's another to just literally take the video, cut off our intros and outros, and put on their own, and call it a day. That to me is just ridiculous. Man, that Abe Cohen, man, he never gives up. Never gives up. I don't know why he has such a crush on me, but dude, I'm sorry, can't help you. Well, the way it works is you're allowed to take the videos, and it depends. There's if it falls under fair use, that means, you know, Black Label's explained this several times, but, you know, they have to take the video, they have to change the context of it. They can't just take the video and slap it on their channel and call it a day. What, you know, I don't mind if people use my work and they change it or commentate over it or whatever. But don't just take my video, my whole video, put it on your channel, put your own stuff on the intro and outro, and then say it's yours. Yeah, I know, Aiden. I mean, it takes a lot of work to make these videos. A lot. You know, that spotlight I just did on Black Label, which I hope all of you have watched, I mean, that intro alone, the first 40 seconds of it, it took me about 40 hours overall, because I kept remaking it, and, you know, I wanted it to be perfect. So I kept tweaking it and adjusting the filters, changing the lighting, lining up the music. And then, you know, I put all this work into the music, and I went to go upload it, and I got a copyright email. The music that I was using, which was listed as free, royalty-free music, it hit me with a copyright on it. So I had to take it back down, change the music, and upload it again. Hey, Flow Rider. Yeah, does it exactly. But, you know, I mean, editing these videos is not easy. You know, it's really frustrating when they take them and just do that. But, you know, these guys, I swear, I was telling Amanda about it, you know, I swear, they must sit in our channels, our live streams, and they make sure to ring that bell because they can't wait for us to post a new video. I don't know how many times I came across high desert clips being used in, you know, social justice videos, ripping on us and all that. You know, those, they're, you know, that's fair use. They change the context of it, you know, they put it in their own compilation or whatever. But the point is, you know, instead of people coming and learning about what we do and why we do it, they're just calling us crazy sovereigns and crazy SJWs and sticking it in their compilation videos. And I'm like, you know, at least have the decency to learn what we're doing before you just give us these names and try to put us down. You know, it's frustrating because, you know, a lot of people, like, you know, like Amanda, she was doing this full time, busting her butt for people's rights. And these people want to call her, a mad social justice warrior. You know, and I told her about it, but, you know, she said she already knew. And, you know, I mean, there's nothing we could do about those because it does fall under fair use. But in the case, like I said, I had a video stolen, she had a video stolen. I can only imagine how many of your guys' videos have been stolen. So that's definitely something for you guys to keep an eye out for. I mean, you know, they're taking the whole videos and they don't care what we think about it. So she's not doing well. She's very upset. You know, she's very depressed. They're gonna do the final surgery either Tuesday or Friday, depending on when there's an opening. So they're just trying to keep her good until then. And then they say she'll probably be in there about 5 to 7 days post-op before she can come home. So I'm just trying to deal, like I said, you know, in the middle of the night, I find these clips and stuff online because I got nothing better to do when I can't sleep. A video of a video, and I got, yeah, Perth, that happened to Tammy. Tammy's, you know, News Now Tammy Lynn, formerly Tammy C, he did a video basically saying his opinion about somebody and a situation that happened in Texas. And he just said his piece, and I didn't see anything threatening about it. But he got hit with a threat strike, or whatever they call it. And they told him at least like 90 days, no live streaming or nothing. Which is, you know, his channel is primarily just live streams. So that's why he's now under Tammy, or News Now Tammy Lynn. But they tried to hit me once on a strike, and I appealed it and won. Yep, we always have to appeal. You're right, because more often than not, they're trying to get us for privacy claims, but they're out in public. You can't have a privacy claim on a public. Yeah, but one of the things I wanted to talk about, because I saw this in a lot of video comments, is people talking about local laws, talking about local ordinances, talking about local rules, about, like one in particular, I don't remember the auditor's name, but he had used a drone, and he flew directly vertical. He didn't go over any property lines, and he stayed within the FAA guidelines to film a police station. And he was just getting kind of B-roll of footage, and it was really cool footage. And, you know, one of the troopers came out and started yelling at him, and then the trooper's lieutenant came out and told the auditor, "Have a nice day. We got no problem." Basically waving off the other trooper, saying the guy's legal. We can't do anything about it. Well, in the comment section, there was a whole lot of, what if there's rules against that? What if they got local laws against that? People have to remember, in my opinion, the amendment that's neglected the most is the 10th Amendment. Because the 10th Amendment guarantees that no law, no ordinance, no nothing can exist that deprives you of your rights. Under anything covered under the Constitution, or whatever, unless it's a ruling by the Supreme Court, there's nothing that can be done. They cannot make a law, a local law, that says no filming on the sidewalk. You know, in one of my compilation videos, somebody left a comment, "Oh, gee, thanks, you guys. You're making them put more rules on local filming now. Way to go." You know, being really snotty. And I replied, I'm like, you know, the 10th Amendment exists for a reason. They cannot make a law that says you can't film from public. They cannot do it. It is not possible. Under the color of law, it is not possible. So, you know, people, we all need to push that more. Make people more aware of the 10th Amendment. Make people understand that our rights are guaranteed. It's not just that they're there to be misinterpreted or overridden, because they can't be. Short of a Supreme Court ruling, there's nothing they can do. And I think that's one of the things that is just neglected a lot. If, you know, people need to be more aware of it. Hey, Dudley Archer. Yeah, Aiden, exactly. A lot of people don't. 10th Amendment was the final amendment ratified in the Bill of Rights. And it dictates that no law at the federal, state, or local level can exist that impedes any of your rights under the Constitution. So it guarantees that no local jurisdiction can make a law that supersedes the Constitution. You're right, Tom, he was, and I pointed that out. And I'm like, look, that trooper learned a lesson that day. That trooper got educated because his boss came out, told him to stand down, and told the auditor to keep going and doing what he was doing. He wasn't breaking any laws. But, you know, I never hear people talking about... Oh. That guy's outside. So, talk amongst yourself for 2 minutes, guys. I just gotta go outside for a second. Sorry about that. That's cool. He came and he cut down all, because the grass was getting so long because I can't do it. So, he came with his weed whacker and he just knocked it all down. So, but I had to chase him down. Black Sheep 1. Oh, so is that you? Are you Abe Cohen under a different name? Yeah, but, you have 2 missed calls. Well, I did have 2 missed calls, and it was from a troll, but just trying to make sure I'm caught up on what everybody's talking about. Right, yeah. I mean, yeah, see, the 10th Amendment works both ways. You cannot create a law that deprives you of your rights that are guaranteed under the Constitution. But it also allows them to create any laws that aren't covered by the Constitution at whatever level. So, it's kind of, it works both ways. So you still have to be, you have to be careful. You don't want them trying to find loopholes to create these laws that skirt around the Constitution. Hey, Cop Cam. Yeah, we're talking about the 10th Amendment and how it affects us. And, I was talking about how there's these people that, they're saying that we're causing local jurisdictions and local governments to create laws that are basically stopping people from filming in public because they're trying to block us. They're seeing us as a nuisance, so they're creating laws to stop us. But I was talking about how the 10th Amendment guarantees that they can't do that. We're protected by the First Amendment. The Supreme Court has already ruled cameras are a part of journalism. And it's also ruled that cameras cannot be treated as suspicious behavior. I keep leaving these comments for people, and I keep saying, look, what we do as auditors, as activists, everything we do revolves around being legal. And what we do is guaranteed to not be seen as suspicious behavior. So essentially, it's what we do is no more suspicious or no more illegal than somebody walking down the street on the sidewalk going to work or leaving their house to go to the store. It's no more suspicious and no more illegal than that. People keep trying to tell us that, people keep trying to tell us that we're causing problems, we're suspicious, They kept saying, oh, it's really sketchy that we're standing outside filming a jail or whatever. No, it's not suspicious. It's legal, period. It's already ruled on by the Supreme Court. People have already tried to make it illegal. People have already tried to say that it's a legal, suspicious behavior, and it's not. The Supreme Court, in fact, ruled that a person standing on the camera or on public property filming, in and of itself, cannot be treated as suspicious behavior. It is not probable cause. That means that all these cops that come running up to auditors saying, "What are you doing? That's suspicious. I want your ID because you're acting suspicious. This. I don't like what you're doing. You're being detained until our investigation is done." I wish these cops would all learn that what we're doing is guaranteed by the Supreme Court to not be deemed suspicious behavior and therefore cannot be treated as probable cause. Period. You know, a lot of us firmly believe we want places to pass. We are not there for fun videos. We are there in hopes that we will be left alone. You know, those of us that, I mean, granted, I've only done a few audits so far because of my probation situation, but there's plenty of auditors that go out and they post passes. Plenty of them. And that's great. I think that's great. Thank you, Colorado Donkey. Yeah, no, actually, Deadly, I never noticed that. But, well, you know, those are ratified at 2 different times, so, you know, anything from the 1st to the 10th was ratified well before the 14th. But, you know, you would just think that with all the audits that have been done, and the hundreds, if not thousands, well, I would have to say thousands by now, thousands of videos out there related to auditing and performing audits, all of that, you know, good, bad, right or wrong, whatever, you would think by now that every law enforcement agency in the country would know by now that what we would do is legal. What we do is fighting for our rights, to make sure our rights are respected. Now, granted, we have the 2018 DHS memo that outlines our legality and how much we study the law and things like that. Yeah, you're right, Skyhawk. You are right. But I mean, it's so aggravating to see these videos and to see our activists still being treated this way. We got one that's still sitting in jail. We got one that's sitting on house arrest. Well, how many are still in court right now? I mean, come on. Sick of stupid people. Welcome. That's a colorful name. Yeah, see, that's what I say, Bama. I think that by and large, now we all know that not all cops are bad. I still stick to that. I always will. Not all cops are bad. But the bad cops they hope that we don't know our rights. They hope that we don't question their authority. You know, that's the thing. That's the key word there, is authority. You know, are they authoritarians? Do we give them the right to have authority over us? Hey, Urban. Hey, Fluke Dog. Me personally, I don't see them as having authority over us. I see them as they are hired to enforce laws that cause harm. You know, they're not there to nitpick and to, you know, go on power trips. Things like that. That's just wrong. They are there to do a job. They are there to make sure that people follow the rules, follow the law. We all know we have laws. We have constitutional law. We have more recent laws made. Local laws. Local ordinances. We get that. But to have authority over us, you know, that means that they could tell us what to do. You know, I'm so sick of these videos you see of cops going up to people and yelling at them, shut up, sit down, I'm in charge here, all that, it's like, no, you're not. Until you prove I did something illegal, you're not in charge of me. You have no authority over me. I mean, I know I have to follow the law. I get that. If you have proof I broke the law, okay. Do what you gotta do under the color of law. But don't treat me like a child just because I believe in my rights. Don't treat me like that. And I see it all the time. They pop up every day. I haven't been able to check as much as I normally do with everything going on with my mom, but thankfully I have some subscribers that keep me apprised of new things that come up. They let me know of new videos or new news broadcasts, things like that. They help, and it's great. I got that one that Tom Kenny sent me that I posted. So it's just, it's a daily thing. It's even happening all over the world. I watched one earlier that was, one was from New Zealand, one was from Australia, another one was from Scotland, and then another one was from Britain. And I'm like, wow, look at what's going on here. Granted, we don't all have the same laws across all the countries, but there are a lot of similarities. One of them in particular is filming in public. Every one of those countries I just named do have laws protecting people that are filming in public. And it's just amazing to see people standing up across the world. Hey Steve, how you doing, man? But I'm so sick of seeing the ones where the cops are yelling. I mean, I'm not trying to put the cops down. It's just point of fact. They're yelling at the people. And, in Britain, this cop was yelling at this guy, and he asked the guy for ID once. He gave the guy less than 20 seconds to respond, and they smashed the guy's window and started pulling him out. And that's wrong. Cops are getting sick of what we do instead of, trying to work with us. They're getting fed up with us. And that's not right. That's not the right response. Steve, I feel horrible, man. Horrible. I absolutely feel horrible. But, no, you're right, Daryl. I mean, it's anarchy in the sense, I keep seeing a lot of people saying, why don't you stand up for your rights, take up arms, all that. That's not going to work. It won't work. It will not work. I mean, seriously, if the government had to, if it came down to it and it turned into a civil war, more or less, we're still going to lose. Because they have much bigger guns and a much larger army than we have. By larger army, I mean a much more well-equipped army, I should say. Because obviously we would have more manpower, but still. Daryl, yes, they are. Some are becoming educated. We are seeing it more and more. Cops are becoming educated. I do agree there. But I'm also seeing a lot of cops fed up. And that's not the right response. Hey, Gray Dude. You're probably, you might be right, Gray Dude. It may get worse before it gets better. But I said this in one of the comment sections. I'm not looking forward to a dystopian wasteland future. I'm sorry, but that's not how I want my children to live. Sometimes you have to concede on certain things. You're not going to win everything. This isn't a prison riot. We can't just, riot and wave our hands in the air and say, if you don't listen to us, we're not going to do that. That's not how it works. Yeah, see, Perth, now, How is that interpreted under Australian law? I know Australia has like their version of the Magna Carta, or are they? I don't know. Is Australia still under British rule technically? Right? You're still under the monarchy. Yeah, my mom loves those Purge movies. Yeah, Copcam's definitely a good source for info. I keep saying that. Maximillionaire and Copcam and Mrs. Constitutional. Between the three of them, that's a serious powerhouse. But I would think even in Australia, you're allowed to film people working on your home. I mean, especially if they're outside. You know, I would think, as far as I know, even under British law, under the Magna Carta and modernization of the Magna Carta and their laws, that that it's legal to film people working on your house. No, it's a grape. They're Native American filtered cigarettes, grape. It's like $9 a carton. Well, not as far as I know. We haven't been under British rule in a very long time. We are definitely not under the monarchy. I mean, granted, you can say if the Bank of England owns all financial institutions, you can kind of say that they own us in a way, but I have never seen... I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I just personally have never seen that point. Bank of England now owns all that. I've never heard of that before. Deadly Archer. It's on the reservation out by Buffalo, New York. Well, it's $20 a carton on the reservation for regular cigarettes. But these are filtered cigars. I break the filters off of them because I don't like the filter. But this is grape flavor, and it's $9 a carton on the Seneca Nation reservation in Tonawanda. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though. People keep saying, oh, civilians need to take up arms and stand up for their rights and, have full-out battles on the streets. And I'm like, that's not going to work. Yeah, I mean, it will not work. It won't. Because, with one phone call, they can have the entire American military. I know that there's whatever law or whatever that says that American military cannot operate on American soil. But I'm sure they could declare some type of executive decision to change that in the event of a civilian uproar, an uprising. That's why I say that's not going to work. They have bigger guns. They have planes, fighter jets. They have aircraft carriers. They have destroyers. They have nukes. I mean, they have everything. So, all we have is whatever we're legally allowed to own up to that point. So, that's why I say that won't work. We have to the way to win this is information. Information has to be spread. You know, that's why it kills me about, you get cat videos that go viral. You get videos of somebody walking into a glass door that gets tens of millions of views. But a video explaining our rights gets taken down or barely gets views. I mean, that's what kills me. Information needs to be spread. Most of the people are uninformed. Yeah, you're right, Grey Dude. The Vatican does own a lot. I mean, it's basically its own city, and they certainly have a lot of power. They got a lot of followers across the world. But, we need to flood the world with information. I don't know how many times I talk to people and say, look, I might bring up the conversation about public photography. And a lot of people will say the same thing we see in all these videos. Oh, well, you would need my permission to post it online, or you need my permission to film me. And a lot of people don't understand that once they walk outside that door and they're out in public, they can be filmed. And unless they're in a privately owned business or something where filming is forbidden because it's a private location, so they can do that. But anytime they're in a public park, a public train station, public bus depot, whatever, they can be filmed. I could go right now to downtown Rochester, New York. We have probably like a decade or two ago, they put in a bus terminal downtown because the buses used to line up on Main Street and it got really horrible. So I could go to that bus terminal right now with my gimbal and my cameras set up and start filming, and I guarantee you within seconds I will have people coming up in my face telling me I can't film there, it's not legal, blah blah blah. Guarantee it. And well, Daryl, I can't tell other auditors how to perform their audits. All I can do is suggest. I have no right to tell them how to do what they do. Yeah, exactly, CopCam. Yeah, that is perfectly worded. Yeah, people want their privacies, Daryl. I get that. That's why, me personally, I don't go out with the expectation of filming civilians. And I agree that people should have their right to privacy. I do agree to that. But people need to be made aware, if you're working in an official capacity, I don't care if you're a garbage man, I don't care if you're a clerical staff or the mayor. When you work and you're at your job, you can be filmed and there's nothing you can do about it. If I'm standing on a sidewalk, a public sidewalk, I don't care if I'm looking at the jail, I don't care if I'm looking at the White House, I don't care if I'm looking at the garbage dump. I can film it. And so many people have no clue that that is legal, including cops. So a lot of cops come in thinking, okay, well, film plus jailhouse equals nefarious deeds. They automatically think that in their head. And we've seen proof of that time and time again. That's because they lack the information. And that's the problem. And a lot of times, like I said, so many of them, they're fed up with it. Even if they've never encountered it personally, they've watched so many of the videos, they're fed up with it. So they as soon as you hold your camera phone up and they approach your car or they approach you on the sidewalk, they immediately think, oh, another one of those. He's one of those guys. She's one of those people. So they instantly have this mentality of conflict. If someone is working on my dime, then they are under my scrutiny. That is what you get for working for me, public servant. Absolutely, Steve, and thank you for the super chat. You're absolutely right. You know, but it just bothers me so much that people do that. That they think that they cannot be filmed in public. And, you know, so many of the officers think that, like I said, they're fed up, and they can't be. That shouldn't be even remotely allowed. How many times, I mean, granted, I know there's those. Now, let's just clear the air on this right off the bat here. As far as sovereign citizens are concerned, people that declare themselves as a sovereign citizen, hey, to each their own. You do what you're going to do. But remember, when you say you're a sovereign citizen, you're saying you don't have to obey the laws of the government because you didn't sign into contract with them or whatever. But that also means you're not protected by those laws. Those same laws that protect you against thieves and murderers and anything else. The laws that you don't want to obey, there's also the laws that protect you that you're now saying don't affect you, that you don't have to be under. So that means if you're sitting there yelling at a cop saying, I'm sovereign, I'm sovereign, I'm sovereign, and somebody comes up to you and walks up to you on the street in front of the cop and punches your lights out, the cops aren't supposed to do anything because you're sovereign. So you're not under their jurisdiction. You're not under their scrutiny. So I'm sorry, but I don't agree with the whole sovereign thing. I'm an American. I was born on American soil. My father was a Marine. My uncles and cousins and all of them were in the Marines, the Army, the Navy, you name it. In fact, I'm an American. Period. I paid taxes for a very long time. Most of my life. I started working when I was 14. So I'm not a sovereign citizen. Am I constitutionalist? Absolutely. What is wrong with that? The Constitution, as defined by our founding fathers, you know, you would think that would click in their head and say, okay, he's a constitutionalist. That means he agrees with law, or she agrees with law. You know, this person that I'm dealing with agrees with law, agrees with following laws, is okay with the law. So let's work with them. You're an enforcer of law. I'm a believer in law. So we should come together, not butt heads. I mean, doesn't that make sense to anybody else? You're a constitutionalist. You believe in law. Thanks, Skyhawk. I appreciate that. I almost said your real name. Huh. I appreciate that. Sorry, I'm answering a text. I apologize. Oh, come on. I keep accidentally bumping the voicemail button. I don't use voicemail. If anybody ever that has my number, don't ever mention it or don't ever leave me a voicemail because I never listen to voicemails. So oh, really? I haven't heard of that, Black Label. Did it just happen? And there's something I just asked her if it was okay if I brought it up. But, I had a couple of people ask me if I had listened to the Merb versus Pink video, the first one she posted. You know, part 1 or whatever. And, you know, at the very beginning, I'm glad you're here, by the way, Ben, for this. At the very beginning of the video, he brings out Ben, Black Label. And he calls him a derogatory name, which was just childish. But he accuses him of stealing people's work and monetizing it. But he tries to do it in a roundabout way, surreptitiously. And he tries to throw Pink off her balance. And tries to get her to agree with it. Now, I've had a couple of people that have said that it seems like, hey Rika, it seems like Pink agrees with him about Ben, about Black Label, saying that Black Label just steals videos. Now, I told her I don't agree with that. I think I listened to the video several times carefully. She's not agreeing with him on Ben, because Ben doesn't do that. Ben does not take people's videos, and you know, he's even admitted in the past he never used to put links, but he always does now. He always does. So, you know, the fact that he's accusing Ben of stealing videos and monetizing them, you know, he tried to trip Amanda up, and she did not fall for it. So, anybody else thinking about bringing that up to me and asking me about it, you have my answer now. I don't agree with what you think. Amanda did not fall for it. Amanda did not agree with Merb. Amanda respects Black Label, and she said as much. So do I, and so does pretty much everybody else in this channel. Except for probably a couple lurking trolls, but who cares? You know, the bottom line is, no. That video, in that video that she posted, she is not agreeing with Merb about calling Ben that name and what it means and what he thinks Ben does. So, please don't email me anymore about it. Don't ask me my opinions on it. This is my opinion. I don't believe that that's what happened. And I know that that's not fact. Merb, I'm sorry, I've tried to talk to him in comment sections and he ignores me. So, whatever. You don't want to talk, that's fine. You've already been put down by James. You've already been beat down by Amanda. You know, sorry, but maybe you should try to use that extensive knowledge to help. Even Amanda has said that his knowledge could be helpful. I believe Ben said as much too. So I don't understand the point of trying to trip people up and start a conflict. Nice one, Ben. But, so I wanted to just get that out of the way right off the bat because I talked to Amanda about it and I asked her if it was okay if I brought it up, and she said it was fine. So, yeah. She says he was indirectly insinuating it was Ben, but the question itself was in general. She's absolutely right. In general, she, me, Ben, we all agree. Don't steal our videos, monetize them, and not even so much as put a link back. We all agree to that. So, right off the bat, it makes the argument invalid. And she words it perfectly. Indirectly insinuating. So, she did not agree about Ben being part of that. So, please, no more emails about it. I don't know why people email me about it to begin with. I had nothing to do with it. I wasn't there. I wasn't involved in the conversation. Please, leave me out of it. Yeah, you're right, Black Label. I almost said Blend. You're right, though. When you try to put people down, call people names, I mean, that was exactly what he did right off the bat. Within, like, the first 2 minutes, He tried to call Black Label a name, a childish, derogatory name. You know, that right there, that like sets the tone already for how people should interpret what you say. Because you automatically brought it to the schoolyard insulting level. When you do something like that, forget it. You're done. You're done. You already set the tone for the rest of the conversation. You know, yeah, if that's all Black Label did was post people's videos and monetize it, don't you think he'd be shelling out 20 videos a day? No. He takes his time. He verifies information he's given. He reports on the video. He gets permission 900 or like 99.9999% of the time. The people tell him right off the bat, go ahead, post it, do what you're gonna do. You know, I mean, so the whole childish name calling crap is just, it serves no purpose. It really does. You know, and if that's all I did, I would damn sure be hammering out 20 videos a day. I post less than 1% of the videos that are recommended to me or that I find. Because I like to verify them unless the video speaks for itself, I need to verify information. I try to gain more information. All those things. Yeah, exactly. I don't mind differences either. Please. I love, I'm not going to learn anything if people don't bring me new information or contradict what I say. I have no problem being wrong when the proof is there to say that I'm wrong. But don't bring it to the level of childish name calling and all that crap. Because I mean, that's just, when I first listened to that video with her and him, I was hoping for a nice adult conversation. Because I know her. She's very intelligent, very well spoken, very articulate in what she says. So I was hoping for an engaging conversation. But he starts off within the first 2 minutes with childish insults. And that right there was just like, oh boy. I didn't even want to listen to the whole rest of the video. David, she's not good, man. It's not a good situation. Yeah, there you go, Tammy. Black Label is very helpful, and he discusses stuff, not calling names or trying to start fights. I agree as well. We all live, we all learn. We all make mistakes. There's been times where I've been frustrated with him, I'm not going to lie, but you know what? It happens. The difference is I sit there and I'll leave him a question and I'll just wait till he answers it. We're all allowed to get frustrated. We're all allowed to get, whatever. But when you start off in a public forum with public listening, knowing the video is going to be posted, would you start off with an insult right off the bat? I'm sorry, but that's just, that right there automatically tells me what to expect from you. Black Label ruins Camaros. Hey, Albert. Skyhawk, I appreciate that, man. I try. I try to help whoever I can, however I can. That's what I try to do. I hope all of you guys have watched that spotlight video on Ben. It's very revealing. He opened up a lot. I was very, very pleased and surprised and pleased when I got the video and I watched it. Before I started any editing, I had to figure out how I wanted to edit it. And when I listened to his answers and his explanations, I was extremely impressed. Extremely. I mean, I was expecting, just generalized answers, not intuitive, deeper, personal, more personal, answers. So I'm really glad that he did it, and I was able to post it. What I don't understand is why it only has 650 dang views, people. Come on. Share the link to it. I mean, I want people to see that, because I want people to know he's more than just a voice. That's what I do with these spotlight videos and that. I'm trying to bring you the person. I'm trying to humanize whoever the subject is of the video, to show you that they are a real person with real feelings, and they're there for the world to see. That's why I was so impressed with him and the way he opened up in that video. So I want everybody to see it. All of them, not just his. His was the 6th episode. There's still 5 others besides him. Plus, I'm working on several more at the moment. Yeah, I'm not a Camaro guy, man. I'm a Ford guy. Give me a, 68 Shelby Fastback. That or off-road trucks. Hey, Boomer. But, as far as everything going on, it needs to be about information. Not about personal preferences, not about personal discrepancies, none of that stuff. We are not gonna... I mean, look at this fact. This is a true point of fact. The movement, as far as YouTube level is concerned, has been around for at least 12 years or 13 years that I'm aware of. Yeah, right, Albert? But at least 12 to 13 years that I'm aware of. Now, we have come a long way. We've brought more and more people into the fold, including myself. But it's still about information. I mean, we're still doing... If you look at... News Now Sweden has the video on his channel. It's an audit from like 12 or 13 years ago. And it's pretty much exactly the same as an audit that was posted yesterday. So we're still doing the same thing. So that's why I'm saying, what more can we do? What more? I mean, because I don't want negative encounters. I want, if a cop comes up to me, I would like for them to be like I've seen in other people's videos, where they just say, hey, I respect what you're doing, just please don't trespass. Or whatever. I don't even mind if they ask, what am I doing? Or ask me for ID. I don't have to give it to them. But they can ask. I'm not going to call it a fail just because a cop approached me. As long as they're not flipping out, yelling at me, cuffing me up or whatever, that's a pass. A 67 GTO, huh? Yeah, it better not be his first car, Ben. My kids aren't even allowed to get their license until they can change a tire. They can do a basic brake job, pads and rotors. They need to be able to change headlight bulbs and taillight bulbs. They have to be able to at least check the oil, check the tranny fluid levels. They don't have to necessarily know how to change it, but they have to at least know how to check it. So, the older Dodge Chargers are nice. I'm a Hemi fan, so I know a lot of people took the Hemis and put, even though it wasn't a GM motor, they still put it in the GMs. Dodge Chargers, of course, are Chryslers, but I've seen the Hemis put in everything. But the Charger is pretty much where it started. We went from talking about the 10th Amendment and the First Amendment and talking about Amanda's video with Merb to talking about cars. Now, you guys had seen my last vehicle that I built. It was a frame-up build. It was a 78 Ford Bronco. I wanted a 79, but they only made that particular Bronco for 2 years, 78 and 79. It was the biggest Bronco they ever made. And I had Dana 80 rear axle, Dana 60 front axle, 40-inch mudding tires on it with a big block, 429. I had granny gear, and I had the T18 manual transmission with granny gear. So I could literally drive up to a vertical wall and drive up the wall. That's how much torque it had. I don't have a vehicle at all now, David, if you're talking to me. I don't even have a go-kart. Oh, Fluke Dog. Alright, man. Thanks for stopping in, man. And then another situation, if you guys aren't aware of it, I know a lot of you are, but Tammy was recently hemmed up on a simple, basically of getting into a fight. You know, we're human. We get into fights. And he was taken in for simple battery. The big issue was he broke his hand, and they waited 5 days to get him medical attention. 5 days. He sat in a cell for 5 days without medical attention. Or a shower. Even basic human needs. So, there's just more proof right there. Our rights aren't being respected. I know some people will say, oh, well, he got into a fight, he deserved it. He may have deserved getting locked up or whatever, depending on the circumstances. Who know? I don't know all the circumstances. What I do know is he's a human being with broken bones in his hand, and they made him wait 5 days. Now, he could have gone septic from that. Broken bones are no joke. You know, you can go septic real easy with broken bones. How can a cactus be a trampoline? I don't know if I want to know the answer to that, Albert. Well, appreciate that, CEO. We try. I mean, today's kind of a slow day, but, you know, 30 people are better than no people. Yeah, I mean, don't even want to give the man soap. And, you know, jail soap is horrible, guys. I mean, it barely gets you clean. Trust me. But they don't want to even give you that. They're supposed to give you a little bar of soap, baking soda with a little very flimsy rubber toothbrush, a little plastic cup, and, you know, you're supposed to be allowed 2 to 3 showers a week. And don't drop it. Actually, in reality, most people don't realize in reality, older prisons, yes. Most jails, the showers are very open. You're like, everybody can see you. You know, it might have a little closing door that just kind of covers like a 2-foot area, a 2-foot high spot. So you better hope your height, your waistline is like in the middle of that. But it's very open. There is no drop in the soap. There's none of that. Most jails these days, they're pod systems, which is, you know, it's just basically, you know, cells in a certain pattern, so that one officer, one CO, or one deputy can watch everybody's cells at once. And then there's also the shower, which is usually 1 to 3 stalls. And you got to stand in line. Last time I was in jail, you get a 1 hour rec, but there would be 50 people in line for the shower. And here, I don't know about down in Florida or none of that, but here, you don't get commissary for the first 30 days. So you don't get deodorant, none of that. You either have to hope that, a cellie or somebody gives you some deodorant to use, or, the sinks in the cells are like drinking fountains. They're not faucets. So you're like 3 times a day, you're freaking washing yourself just to keep from stinking out yourself. It's bad. It's ridiculous. They don't care. It's like if I'm paying for it at a commissary, who do you care? You're getting money. But that's just how it is here. The county jails, you have to wait 30 days. Wow, did I lose signal or something? The channel's not moving. Either nobody's talking or I got a stutter in the link. I think it would be cool to see Albert out doing an audit. Albert can really mess with them though. Albert, if you're ever out there doing an audit, what you do is stand there with the camera and just say, I saw you doing this and I saw you doing that. Just come up with some crazy stuff. Hey, Willie Fred. Boosted. Yeah, dude, I've told Streamlabs about it 10 times. I've got 34 people in here, but that says 25. I've told Streamlabs about it. It just upgraded to 098 when I started it for this stream. And they still haven't fixed the bug. It's kind of like I made a welcome screen with that thumbnail picture. And then I put just some cool free music in there. It's just instrumental music. But when I play it locally, I don't hear it locally. It's the volume indicator shows that it's playing, but I don't hear it. So I don't even know if it goes across the stream. Wendy, yeah, that's all him, man. I don't like foreign cars. That's just my personal preference. It has nothing to do with them being foreign. I like American-made muscle. Firmware, for those that don't know what FW means. Albert's involved in software development. I just haven't bothered with trying to mess with a different OBS software, and I've had too much going on to be rebuilding all the scenes and stuff. But it's frustrating. Something as simple as a counter, because I see it up on the actual Streamlabs interface. It shows the correct number of viewers as I have the live stream screen of Creator Studio open on this monitor, and then down on the laptop's screen I have the OBS interface. And then over on my right side monitor, I've got, just a web browser to look up stuff or whatever. But the counter on the Creator Studio live streaming interface matches the OBS interface. But the counter that's on the screen you guys see is wrong. Yeah, firmware architecture, that can be a very demanding job. I wrote software for over 2 decades, and I did software architecture. It's a very frustrating job. I just got burnt out with computers. I mean, I went years without touching a computer. I was so burnt out. I've been talking with a couple of people about doing spotlight videos on them. And one of them, I think you guys will be kind of surprised at. Because I'm trying to bridge the whole divide crap. I'm just so sick and tired of this whole divide nonsense. So, there's somebody in particular that I've been talking to on the quote-unquote other side. You know, trying to set up a spotlight video on them. So, hopefully I can get that. I mean, it's just, you know, Ben knows it takes a lot of work building these videos. Yeah, Ben, I don't know if you were here at the beginning of the live stream. We were talking about how, you know, during the middle of the night when I can't sleep, I've been watching a lot of random compilation videos. And some of them are those SJW Sovereign Citizen compilation videos. And a lot of our people, their videos are being used in those compilations. And we were talking about how both Amanda and I had full compilation videos we made stolen. They took them and just slapped their intro, outro on them, and that was it. And luckily, you know, one guy had already been in trouble for it. So the guy that took my video, so YouTube sided with me on it. But Amanda suggested, and I'm going to start doing, watermarking my videos. It just, I never bothered to use that option. So Archer, I don't know, man. I don't follow him. I'm not subscribed to him. I don't seek out information on him. So I couldn't tell you one way or the other, man. I hated traveling. I traveled when I worked for Fuji. I was senior embedded software engineering manager at Fuji, and I used to travel for them, and I hated it. That's why I left there, and I took a local job. I got sick of the travel, and then I started working for a security firm writing software. I had to get actual security clearance to write the software. They have security systems at airports and at federal museums and stuff. Hey, Bullet. Yeah, Ben. SJW. A lot of us have been labeled as SJWs. But, you know, Ben, that Laporte guy, I don't remember his whole name. Do you remember it? Yeah, Laporte something or other. The big name, the guy that was getting, you know, dicked around a lot. I found his videos, his whole videos, put on somebody else's channel. All they did was put their intro and outro on his videos, and they called it The Diary of a Mad Sovereign. And then they played it, all of his videos, one after another on their channel. I left him a comment about it because that's the only way I know how to get a hold of him. But I don't know. I don't think he's actually done anything. Let me see if I can find it. Now, I'm in no way advertising this guy. I'm only giving you guys this link to show you that, you know, he's being treated this way by these people who are taking his videos and doing this to him. Damn it. What do you mean, Deadly Archer? You don't agree with the Laporte guy? I haven't heard anything about him being a wrong guy. Maybe you're thinking of the other one. Because the LaPorte County guy, as far as I knew, I thought he was a good guy. Did I miss something? Somebody please fill me in here, because I must have missed something. Yeah, Tammy, definitely don't forget it. Oh, really, Christian Cat? Somebody took that, what did he do? Did he modify the intro at all, or is he just using it on his videos? Oh. Well, this guy here, we were, you know, Ben did a couple of spotlight things on him on his show, helping the guy out, bringing attention to his cause and all that. These people on this channel are listing him as a mad sovereign citizen, taking his videos, the whole videos, and putting them on their channel. So if anybody knows how to get a hold of Laporte, I don't remember his whole channel name, but let him know, because he should be able to at least hit them with copyright or something. They literally take his entire video and just put their intro and outro on it and call it Diary of a Mad Sovereign or something like that. But that was the first video I came across, and I realized it was the same guy. Deadly, as far as that situation, I don't know. I know his sub count used to be publicly viewable. Why he would take that off, I don't know, but I mean, it's his channel, his choice. Albert, no. Every state, there's different levels of stop and ID states. Now, as far as I know, I could be wrong on this, but as far as I know, in no state can they demand your ID for any reason, or for no reason whatsoever. No probable cause, no nothing. As far as I know. I could be wrong. But as far as I know, in no state can they come up to you walking down the sidewalk and just demand your ID. As far as I know, even in stop and ID states, they have to at least have probable cause. I know that's true of New York State and quite a few other states that are stop and ID states. Thanks, WRL. Yeah, if anybody knows how to get a hold of him, let him know. I don't know if he's aware that they're doing that with his videos. Yeah, exactly, Rika. But then you got the non-stop and ID states, which not only require PC, but, you know, RAS, reasonable articulable suspicion. So, but like I said, as far as I know, in no state can they just demand your ID. Well, I found them randomly. I mean, there's that link right there was the first one I found. If you type in Laporte Diary of a, it'll bring them up. I mean, they literally have tens and hundreds of thousands of views on this guy's videos. Monetized. So, they're taking his videos and monetizing them. And they laugh at him. They just rip on him, they pick on him, talk down about him. So, I mean, like I said, it's... Just type in Laporte Diary of a, and it'll bring up the videos. They all have that robot intro. Scam Stingers is the channel. Scam Space Stingers. I came across it purely by accident. Hey, Tex Rose, how you doing? Yeah, I mean, even, you know, people try to rip on the whole thing about traveling versus driving. And Freeman pointed out, like, a dozen or more instances where people have won that in court. So, I would think that there is case law. I mean, you know, I may be wrong on that, but... Oh, that's good, Tex Rose. That's always a good thing. Oh, hey, Laporte. Hey, somebody grabbed you. I had left a comment on your video, man. There's a channel, Scam Stingers. They're taking all of your videos, and they call it Diary of a Mad Sovereign Citizen, and they just rip on you, man. They're taking your videos, putting their intro and outro on it, and gaining tens and hundreds of thousands of views off of them. Yeah, Bullet just posted the link to their channel. But I mean, I found it by accident the other day, and I left you a comment on one of your videos. But you should be able to hit them with some type of copyright strike or something on every single video. It's not right, man. They're ripping on you. I tried to post retorts, you know, comments saying, look, you're going through this, that's bull, blah, blah, blah. And they just tried to laugh me out of the comment section. So... Yeah, but it's not right, dude. It's really not right. Because we all... It just opens the door for them to take other people's videos. When they're getting... I mean, let's see. How many views does this one have? This one's only got 700 and something views, but I know when I saw one of the other ones, it had an insane amount of views. Some of them are in the tens of thousands, some are in the hundreds of thousands. Yeah, but it's all for the wrong reason, though. It's all for the wrong... They're not giving you positive response, positive views. They're portraying you as a madman. You know, they're trying to make you look like just some crazy sovereign citizen. And it's not right. You know, I mean, I agree about exposure, but you don't want all that negative exposure. Not to mention, the fact is, they should not be gaining financial gain or subscriber count or anything like that off of your videos without your permission. When I saw these, I'm like, there's no way you gave them permission for this. So, I mean, you know, that's just not right. That their channel is growing. No, I'm just, okay, I just making sure, you know, that you were aware. Because I didn't know how to get a hold of you directly. And I had left you the one comment in your video just to let you know. So, I'm glad, thanks to whoever let you know about coming here, and just so that we can make you aware of this in case you weren't. Yeah, I hate that. The must be crazy. Yeah, because you stand up for your rights. You must be crazy. I had seen your videos before Black Label had posted the one, And I remember thinking, wait a minute, I watched the one where you were sitting in, I think it was a lawyer's office or something, and you would have the judge's court order for paperwork, and they still wouldn't give it to you. And I remember thinking, how could you have a court order and they still tell you no? Yeah, I mean, I'm sub to you too. You got such a long channel name. Change it. It used to be like Laporte Corruption Watch. But either way, I just wanted to make sure you knew what was going on. Hey, Kumanina. Yeah, I still don't understand how I don't understand how they could deprive you of documents that you have a court order for. How is that even remotely legal? Oh, Joe Schaefer. Okay, cool. Yeah, Joe Schaefer is a good guy, so I'm glad he messaged you. Yeah, that's just crazy. I mean, that's still... I don't understand how that was remotely possible. I mean, couldn't you just go right to the judge and say they denied me? Well, yeah, but you should have gotten them that day when you were there with the court order. You know, they should have had to have given them to you that day. You know, they had already had ample time. A Laporte report. There you go. Just so long as you don't do a damn News Now name. People gotta stop with the News Now stuff. Yeah, I like it too. Laporte report. It's catchy. Just please, don't ever use a News Now name. And that goes for everybody. Please, don't. Yeah, I mean, I'm just glad you got your paperwork finally. Well, News Now Canuck, the problem is when somebody says NNC, is it News Now Canuck? News Now Cleveland? News Now Colorado? There was another one I saw that was an NNC. I mean, come on. Look at, there's two News Now Ohios. One's been around for 8 or 9 years. The other one's been around for 4 years. One's got 6,000 or whatever subs. One's got 500. But they're both adamant about keeping the name. Oh, that's screwed up, man. Charged with intimidation? That's just bull. Well, if there's ever anything I could do to help, man, I know Black Label was helping you as well. I mean, I try to help anybody any way I can. You know. So I tried to leave messages on those videos of those people ripping on you. And I tried to explain that, you know, your situation was, in fact, a genuine problem. But, of course, all they care about is laughing at people. Well, good. They should recuse. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that would be cool, Ben. Unfortunately, I'm not financially able to go and do that, but I was going to try to put together kind of a an overview compilation of your problem and what you've been dealing with. So, I mean, if you're okay with that, of course. I'm not going to do it if you don't want me to. But I think everybody should help bring attention to situations like that. I mean, when you're at a level of having a judge's court order in your hand and you still can't get what you need, if you need moderators, man, you know, if you need my help or whatever, you know, Jen T is a good moderator. Wendy McJanet is a good moderator. Kumanina is a good moderator. Thank you, Kumanina. But I mean, if you don't mind, I'm gonna, like I said, I wanted to try to do like an overview compilation of your videos and what you've had going on there. I mean, technically, I don't need to ask, but I prefer to. So basically, I would just go through, download your videos, look for key points in the videos, you know, assemble it together with captioning and whatnot. Yeah, Tex Rose is another one. Wait, to anyone in here directly speaking with a channel and discussion tab gets a better response from the host, or commenting on video gets a response? I'm not sure what you're asking, Tex Rose. Well, no, Laporte, can you email me? My email address is in my About page. Could you email me? We'll talk more in depth about what we can do and what points you want pointed out directly. I mean, you can check out my other compilation videos and support videos and all that to see what I've done. Definitely watch the new Black Label video I released. The Auditor Spotlight video on Black Label. That kind of shows what I can do with a video. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, the one with Black Label is kind of like my... You know, I'm really proud of that video, especially that intro, man. Like I've got like 40 hours into that 40 seconds, man. I don't know how many times I remade the intro for that video because I didn't think it did him justice. So I literally would have hours and hours and hours of work, and I would just scrap the whole damn thing and start over. And I did that quite a few times. Even now, I still look at it as like, man, what could I have done a little better? Oh, hey, Helen. So yeah, Laporte. Yeah, like I said, toss me an email. We'll talk about it more. I get my emails pretty much right away as long as they're not caught by my spam filters. Yeah, no, you're right. It takes a long time to put together a good lawsuit and a good case. You're right. But you got to do your due diligence, you know? Don't rush it. There are people out there, I won't name names, but who have attempted to sue 10, 20, 30 times and always lose. Always. It's like, stop. Especially when you're creating the situations yourself. Those people, I won't name names because it's like Bloody Mary, you know. You say the name 3 times and it causes problems. Alright, man, thanks for stopping in. And thanks to Joe for letting you know. And on Cyber, unfortunately, I haven't been able to watch that yet. I'm behind with everything else going on. I haven't been able to look into that yet. I have been told about it, though. Yeah, man, keep fighting the fight, man. Just keep doing what you do. Alright. Well, there you go, guys. Everybody, if you're not subbed to Laporte, do so. You know, and turn on notifications so when he goes live, you can tune in. They have the First Amendment zone set up, and you're not allowed free speech out of the zone, and no one is covering it except for views like. Yeah, see, that's how they get away with it, though. That's where the tricky part comes in. You know, you have the right to assembly, but they say, yeah, you have the right to assembly, but you have to have a permit to do it as a public, what do you call it, a public event. They treat it as they would a band playing or something. You still have to get a permit. Yeah, Tex Rose. I know. Hey, T-Dog. I don't know if you got my email or not. I sent you an email yesterday. But yeah, you're right, Anon Cyber. They do. They create, you know, almost any spontaneous gathering like that, you know, especially when there's spontaneous opposition, they create little zones and they say, okay, you can be here and do it, or you can be there and do it, but you can't do it everywhere. Or they don't let you do it at all, and they say, go get a permit. Well, we don't, Anon Cyber, as far as I know, we don't have anybody in D.C. I personally don't know of any auditors in D.C. I know auditors that have visited D.C., but I don't know any that live there or are within remote, close range to drive to something like that I'm aware of. That's not to say they don't exist. I just don't know of any. Oh, wow. The Mad Mullah of North Wales Traffic Taliban. Interesting. DMC, well, Anon Cyber is talking about the rally in D.C. I don't know anything about it yet. I haven't had the opportunity to read up on it yet. Anon Cyber, they were just there. They're not there now. It costs money to do all that. I know it sucks to say, but that's reality. It costs money to just show up at a spontaneous rally like that. The people that were there live in Texas. So to turn around and go back to D.C., that's, what, 1,500 mile drive? I mean, that's, to just get up and do that is expensive. Richard Brunstrom. Alright, I'll have to look to, I'll add it to my pile. Oh, well, there you go. DMC says he's covering the protest in D.C. today. Well, that's awesome. So it looks like, well, they have at least one person on the ground. Yeah, you're right, Black Label. I said the same thing a while ago. When Centurion Report was, at one day, he was, live streaming 3 different people's streams of a particular rally. You saw it from 3 different angles, and one of them happened to be an opposition's view. So, but even he said that this didn't start happening until Trump got elected. Well, that's cool, DMC. What time are you going live? I'm not sure if I resubscribed to you or not. I resubbed to everybody because of notification issues, but there are some people I missed. Alright, everybody, if you're not subscribed to DMC, do so. He's only at 114 subscribers. Let's see if we can get him up. Help his channel out, and plus he'll be live streaming. Live at 5. Alright. I'll keep an eye out for it. I just resubbed to your channel, so hopefully I get the notification. Another thing I'm trying to do, I was talking to Amanda about it last night. She had this idea of, like a sharing is caring kind of thing. Helping each other's channels out, posting each other's, like, commercials for each other and things like that. Trying to help everybody's channels grow. So, that's something, you know, I thought was a great idea. So, hopefully we can get that going. But yeah, spread the word if you can. Let everybody know DMC is going to be live streaming that protest. He's in Eastern time, D.C., Washington, D.C. So that's Eastern time. So 5 p.m. Eastern. Alright, Gen T, thanks for stopping. So Deadly, that would make it like what? 1 o'clock for you? You're 4 hours behind Eastern? Yeah, Rose, I will. I mean, like I said, at this point, it's a concept thrown out in a text. So, something that's got to be built on. Well, and on cyber, it all depends, man. You know, certain people have to gauge pros and cons. You know, yes, we have to fight for our right to free speech. I get that. We all get that. But you got to weigh out the risk. Are you willing to be arrested for it? Are you willing to step outside of that free speech zone and speak your piece and risk going to jail? Some people are willing to fight for our rights, but we can only do it to a point. We can't risk going to jail. Some people got kids. You got some people like me who take care of a disabled mother. You know, so not everybody can just get thrown in jail. So we do what we can with what we got. That's why I'm so sick of seeing these comments from these keyboard warriors saying, oh, you talk too much, you gave them too much information, oh, you should have never ID'd, oh, you failed, you gave ID. You know, it ain't about withholding ID. That's not what it's about. It's about standing up for our rights and doing what we can to make sure we keep our rights. And, you know, withholding ID has nothing to do with it. That's just a way of expressing our rights. But not everybody's willing to go to jail. Not everybody has, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40,000 subscribers to help bail them out of jail. Yeah, of course it is. We know that. We all know that. It's hard to fight for our rights, but we still have to fight. Alright, DMC, I look forward to the stream. Yes, Albert, exactly. You know, that doesn't make us any less of an activist just because we have to step down or sometimes or give in sometimes. That doesn't make us any less of an activist. That makes us human. That makes us people with life. You know, a lot of people don't agree with me. I just saw my user count drop just talking about this. But it's reality. I'm just tired of seeing these comments of people ripping on auditors for giving in and giving up ID or whatever. And it's just not right. Well, you know what? I don't care if it makes us look weak. The fact is, we can all do what we can do. You know, we don't all have $1,000 sitting around or 20,000 subscribers that we can say, hey, we need bail money for. So, you know, we don't look at Tammy Lynn. He just sat in a cell for 5 or 6 days because he couldn't come up with $200 for bail. $200 for bond. 5 days, 6 days in jail for a $200 bond. They even managed to find an anomaly in my eyes and have a bondsman that didn't require collateral. Yeah, exactly, Deadly Archer, you're right. You do what you can. If everybody knew that, and if you had 300 million people that picked up the pen and wrote a letter to the president saying, or the government, whatever, saying this needs to be changed, or that needs to be changed, you know what? They're going to have to listen. When you got 300 million people banding together, then that's great. But the problem is we don't have that unity. We don't have that. We have people sitting at home on their keyboards trying to talk down to us because some of us give in. Some of us give ID. Some of us are pleasant to cops. Some of us say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, yeah, no, ma'am, no, sir. People do that. And then I mean, it's amazing how many people will write a negative comment. It's like, well, why aren't you out there doing it? I don't see these people out there doing it. No, all they care about is the entertainment value of watching people get arrested. And it's just ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, you know, me, I couldn't go out right now and just get arrested. Even if I wasn't on probation, let's forget about probation. Me, the upstate New York auditor, I could not just go out there and curse out a cop and risk going back to jail or going to jail all for, you know, freedom of speech when I don't have the money to get back out and fight that in court and try to get case law made or whatever. I can't afford that. Yeah, there you go, W-Rail, you're right. I'm tired of all these people saying you have to get arrested. You have to curse out cops. You have to do this and that. That doesn't make you an activist. That's not what activism is about. Activism is about doing whatever you can to help. Period. It doesn't matter if it's just writing letters. You know, I mean, every little bit helps. Why do you think we don't have as many auditors as we should have? Because a lot of these people want to be auditors, but they say, man, I don't want to get arrested. I don't want to go to jail. But so they know they're going to get ridiculed for not pushing the limits and getting arrested. So they just don't bother. They say it's not worth it. I've seen so many people say it's not worth it because they don't want to get arrested or ridiculed because they didn't get arrested. That's not what this is about. You know, this isn't a contest. We're not trying to see who has the biggest arrest record. You know, that's just not what this is about. Yeah, you have to be smart about what you do, but you also can only push it so far. If you got a cop that's guaranteeing in your face, without a doubt, if you don't hand him ID, he's not going to call his lieutenant, he's not going to call whoever, he's not going to call in anybody else at all. He's looking at the absolute bottom line. The absolute bottom line is he's going to call the cop, or he's going to arrest you if you don't show ID. That's the absolute bottom line. So, hang on a second, guys. That somebody coming. Sorry about that. My mom's friend stopped by. She's walking to the bus stop to go visit my mom. I can't go because I can't walk to the bus stop. The bus stop's 2 miles away. So, and it's all uphill the whole way to the bus stop. So I can't do it with my heart. So she's going to walk up, take the bus up to visit my mom and bring her a couple shirts and stuff. Just, creature comforts. So, I apologize for having to step away for a moment. I spend like hours a day Skyping and that with her, trying to keep her calm because I can't be there. I say screw all naysayers. Screw 'em. You do what you can. You do what you can with what you got and don't let nobody talk you down. If I could be at the DC protest, I would be there. I can't afford to go, 14, 15 miles or whatever it is away to go visit my mom at the hospital. I certainly can't afford to go down to Washington, D.C. right now. No, he wouldn't. And Melvin knew, you do what you can with what you got. He always said that you just try your best and do what you can. He knew my situation, but he still supported me. He knows I have no money, but he still supported me. He encouraged me to start my channel. He encouraged me to do my very first live stream. Melvin supported all of us. As long as you did what you can. That's what he cared about. Hey, yeah, thanks, New England. I just made that one a little while ago. It's kind of a unity thing, Instead of doing News Now names, I like the whole anonymous aspect. Okay, he was your friend for 30 years, okay, but I can tell you for a fact that the exact what's happening now that you're talking to us about was happening when he was alive, running his channel with his live streams, mirroring protests, and we all sat there and we sat with him and talked with him and did what we could, and he never once talked down to us or held it against us that we couldn't afford to go 3-4 states away to videotape a protest. Deadly, why would I be there? To film it. I would love to film it. I would love to be the fly on the wall with the camera, just observing, seeing what's happening, what's going on, get both sides' perspective. It doesn't matter what my feelings are as a journalist. I want to do the journalism aspect of it. But the fact is, somebody who supported us in this exact scenario 3 or 4 months ago, this is the exact situation. There was Antifa protesting going on that he was mirroring, and we watched together in his channel. He was streaming like 2 or 3 different live streams at once. And then he supported all of us, mirroring it and doing what we could. Not yelling at us for not being there. Yeah, News Now, New England. The News Now thing is just, it's gone overboard. I mean, I'm sorry, but it is. There's so many News Nows, it's so confusing, and trying to remember who's who and who does what, especially when there's repetitive names or repetitive acronyms. It's too frustratingly confusing. Not to mention, it makes us look like a structured entity, and we're not. We're anonymous. That's exactly the point. We're independent journalists, not a structured News Now entity. And non-cyber, what do you mean nothing has changed? We do what we can with what we have. How many of our people have gotten arrested, are facing court charges? You know, I mean, look at how the movement has grown just in the last 3 or 4 months. When I turned my channel to an active channel, I had been following this long before. But when I became an active channel, there was nowhere near the support that we have now. So, you know, we do what we can with what we have. I try to help channels build. I try to help channels get videos out. I tried to help get them exposure. You know, Black Label does the same thing. So does PNP News. So does the Radical Reactor. You know, all these things. It takes time. My channel grows slowly. Really slowly. Very little at a time. But it has been growing. From the time I started it until now. I mean, I started it with 2 subscribers. My mom and my daughter. Those were my first 2 subscribers. You know, Melvin was like my 4th or 5th. I have 28 watching right now. And you're right, I should have thousands. But you know what? I can't force people. I can't. I mean, normally I have 50 or 60 people in here. This is just a slow day. But that still doesn't compare to Black Label's 300 or 400. Or James Freeman's 700 to 1,000. But they didn't start it out that way. I can remember Black Label's stream when it only had 60 or 70 people. Or James Freeman's stream when it only had 100 people. So, I mean, look now. There's a guy right now. He just left a... He's calling me all kinds of names and accusing us of making matters worse by being First Amendment activists. Calling me all kinds of childish insults and that. All because he thinks it's our fault that they're putting restrictions on filming inside buildings. I saw many restrictions right from the get-go about filming inside buildings before this movement ever picked up speed. So, do I care what no, I don't care at all what that person thinks. The only thing I care about is when they get it wrong. Don't try to put misinformation on my channel. My channel will not have misguided information. It will be the truth, the facts, period. I thrive on facts. I spent years writing software. I'm a very binary person. Very true, false, yes, no, wrong, right, good, bad. Very binary. Ed. You know, the funny thing is, this is not much long of time frame for this. It grows so dang fast, it's frustrating. I just get you know, I'm sick of trimming and sick of shaving. I wish I could just shave my head and be done with it. You know, the bottom line is everybody, if you do what you can with what you have, then you have my respect. That's the bottom line. I mean, I don't care if it's something as simple as writing a letter. Or you're full-on, you know, bow James Freeman, getting arrested, doing what you can. I mean, either way, I still respect you. What I don't respect is people that thrive on trolling, thrive on misguided information, thrive on inaccuracies. I mean, the bottom line is everybody... You know, I'm just so sick and tired of the whole, you have to get arrested, you have to yell at the cops, you have to curse, you have... No, that's just wrong. I don't know who even started that, but it's wrong. Nah, I wish I could, but I've been told many times I look ridiculous with a shaved head. So, I don't shave it. But you can't fault people for not having the money to go stand up at a protest or film a protest or whatever. You know, and I appreciate that, Anonymous, and I appreciate you having your own opinion. But it's still your opinion. You did come across as if you were saying we're wrong for not being at that DC protest. I mean, I would love to have the money to be able to go there and film it and bring it to you guys. I can't even afford to have unlimited data on my phone. I mean, I can't even live stream. I have to record and then display it because I don't have unlimited data. Yeah, Tammy, you looked a whole lot better, man. When I saw you after you got out, was it the day before yesterday or yesterday, whatever it was? I just miss your live streams, man. Well, yeah, exactly, New England. That's exactly right. You know, everybody should do what they can with what they have, period. I mean, you know, that whole thing about Centurion, like I said, he was my friend. I may not have known him for 30 years, but he's a big reason why my channel exists now and why I do what I do. A very big reason why. So, you know, it does bother me when you try to tell me he wouldn't approve of me or what I'm saying. When he said these very things, when I was the one in his channel, instead of being the one hosting the channel. Alright, thanks for stopping in, man. Alright, guys, well, you know, it's been up a little over 2 hours. It's kind of died down a bit, but, I mean, you know, like I said, just, you know, everybody do what you can with what you got. That's all that matters. I appreciate the donation from Skyhawk. I appreciate the super chat from Steve. You know, every little bit always helps, and I'll always be thankful for it. You know, I apologize I haven't been in a lot of streams lately, but, you know, obviously I've had a lot going on. You're right, John Hoon. Well, Tex Rose, the Centurion report was a great guy. Awesome guy, funny, but extremely intelligent. And, you know, his passing was very sudden. So, it kind of hit a lot of us hard. I actually have a playlist that's a dedication to him with a lot of tribute videos that we made. If you ever get, you ever have the time, check it out. I think I called it 4 Centurion. But at any rate, guys, I appreciate the support. I appreciate y'all stopping in. And I appreciate everybody's opinions, whether they agree with me or not. The bottom line is, as long as we're all fighting the same fight, arguments and debates between each other, they often lead to great epiphanies. So, I don't mind debating with people. I don't mind when people have differing opinions. This was done in a professional manner. We didn't all agree with each other at first, but you know what? We talked about it. No one was calling each other names. None of that crap. So, to those people that do that, you're not helping. So, CopCam's going live after me. So, check out his live stream. And then, of course, DMC's live stream later from the DC protest. So, I'm not sure when I'll be able to go live again. I'll try to do it again soon, but it all depends on what's going on. So, I appreciate y'all stopping in, and I'll see you on the next one.